There's no shortage of things to buy or activities to have with our hard-earned cash. It's easy to fall victim to these firms that rely on your money, especially with creative marketing companies and a culture bent towards spending. You may not even be aware that you're slipping into these traps. You might one day wake up wondering why you're broke, with no additional cash and no money put aside for the future. You work full-time and earn a good living. Yet, it seems like all you do is strike the clock and make payments. Instead of feeling that you'll never be able to get ahead, pay attention to these 7 typical money traps. Fortune Fastlane teaches people about wealth, personal finance, and investments. If you want to improve your financial future, subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you found this video beneficial. The first is taking out a large vehicle loan. When your friends earn their first full-time job, they're likely to buy a brand new car as a reward. The car may be new and bright, but it comes with a big loan that will not be repaid for many years. This is one of the most common money traps, since once you get into the habit of financing cars, it's difficult to get out. It's also one of the most difficult things to finance because of its high cost and the fact that it's an appreciating asset. Not only that, but buying a car you can afford leads in increased taxes and insurance rates. According to LendingTree, the typical new automobile payment in the United States is $563, with a loan term of 70 months on average. The car's value is only a fraction of what it was purchased for once it has been paid off. There is no easy way around the cost for those of us who require a vehicle. However, cutting costs by buying a dependable old car that doesn't require much care and won't lose half its value in the first few years is a good idea. This is a far better habit to develop until you can afford to buy the car you want. There are numerous money traps that can lead to financial catastrophe. The good news is that if you avoid these biggest and most common blunders, you'll have a lot better chance of succeeding. Rather than squandering all of your money on an exorbitant automobile payment or a larger and more expensive home than you require, invest it in assets that will support your future lifestyle. You won't remember the new car you bought 30 years ago, but you'll be ecstatic if the money you put into it has compounded several times. Number 2. Purchasing an excessive amount of real estate. It's easy to fall in love with a lovely new home, with a dream kitchen, and more space than you know what to do with. The stately curb appeal and expansive lawn will undoubtedly wow. Home buying is an emotional experience, and it's easy to go overboard and wind up with a housing bill that exceeds your income. Isn't it true that you desire to appear wealthy and successful to your friends and family? How will they know you make a lot of money if you don't tell them? They probably don't mind that you're the only one. It's tempting to use every dollar of your mortgage pre-approval, but it's not the best option. Despite the fact that the house is likely to appreciate in value, being house poor is no fun when you can't afford to maintain your car or take a vacation. When you consider taxes, insurance, HOA dues, upkeep, utilities, and the cleaner you'll need to help with all that space, this cost can easily consume more than half of your income. Working for less than your worth is number 3. Employers frequently pay their employees less than they deserve. After all, they're attempting to persuade individuals to undertake a task for as little money as possible. Employers are supposed to pay their employees just enough to keep them from quitting. How many people do you know whose boss hasn't given them a raise in years, or whose raise was only 3% or an insulting sum that was less than the rate of inflation? This indicates that despite having more experience, you're being paid less this year. When you consider how difficult it is for businesses to locate staff and the cost of replacing employees who leave, it becomes absolutely unfair. If you are getting paid less than your worth, looking for a new job could result in a significant boost. If you enjoy your job, consider politely but firmly asking for a raise, and be prepared by researching market prices for your position. If your employer refuses to pay what you're worth, be prepared to shift jobs. While changing professions might be difficult and uncomfortable, a 30% raise could make it worthwhile. Number 4. Believing you can become wealthy quickly. The last thing a young person wants to hear is that building wealth takes a long time. Working 40 hours per week, 50 weeks per year for the foreseeable future isn't the most appealing proposition. There are a variety of solutions available to expedite the process. process. It takes a long time to make a lot of money from your investments. Ask any typical millionaire, and they'll tell you that getting there was a long, tedious process. Beginner investors frequently take a long time to discover that there are a few shortcuts when it comes to investing. They may believe that by doing anything other than standard retirement planning, such as buying a hot stock or day trading, they can make a lot of money, but this usually backfires and they lose money. That's not to say you shouldn't try some speculative investments now and then, but your best bet is to put most of your money into something with a long track record and only a small amount of it in speculative options. Keeping high interest debt is number 5. While debt isn't ideal in general, debts with a high interest rate are the main issue. This is most typically done using a credit card, but it can also be done with a car or student loan. Credit card issuers are notorious for charging exorbitant interest rates that make paying off the bill with the minimum payment practically impossible. The average credit card interest rate is around 16%, according to the Federal Reserve. Compound interest, rather than working in your favor and giving you a 16% return on your investment, is actually working against you. To put things in perspective, the S&P 500 averages roughly 10% per year, so it normally doesn't make sense to start investing before these high interest loans are repaid. To make matters worse, the majority of these debts are the result of purchases of products that are of little or no worth. These are products you purchase that you no longer use or are worthless. Or worse, you can't remember what you purchased, but the debt follows you about for years. Number 6 reason is not investing. It's no secret that it's a good idea to start saving for your future. As soon as possible, the sooner you get started, the sooner you'll be financially independent and your investments will begin to grow in value. Despite the fact that this is common knowledge, many people delay investing for a variety of reasons. Some people avoid investing because they want to live their lives to the fullest before they get too old. Others are aware that they should invest but choose to put it off until later. Paying yourself first and putting down a percentage of every paycheck is likely the most effective approach to stay on track. Yet, many people do not do so. You won't notice until you check your account and discover how enormous it has become once you've implemented this behavior and made it a habit. Putting off investing until your 50s or 60s will make reaching a decent retirement far more difficult than if you started when you were in your 20s. 30s, or 40s. Number 7. Accumulating a large amount of school debt. Many people take out loans to go to college and further their education. The degree you get may enable you to earn significantly more money in the workplace. With an average student loan debt of over $37,000 per borrower, this isn't a decision to be made lightly. Since this amount can be debilitating when you first start your career, one issue is that many students select the incorrect major. This could indicate that they don't want to undertake the work for which they studied because they don't comprehend the position's responsibilities, or that they have changed their minds about their chosen professional path. Many students don't conduct adequate research to fully comprehend the cost of acquiring a degree and the salaries they would earn after graduation. Spending $37,000 in education and earning $40,000 in the workforce is a common blunder. Additionally, attending a costly and prestigious institution that is out of reach financially can be detrimental. There are a number of techniques to improve your chances of making the proper decision with a good return on investment that isn't too expensive. That's it for this video, Fortune Fastliner. Remember to subscribe to our channel, and if you feel like we've delivered value, please share this video with one person. That's right, just one person, as a token of your appreciation for the hard work we put into making content that educates and helps you on your mission of building your own fortune. Remember, you can watch video after video, but it isn't until you actually take action that you'll start to see results. See you soon.